Hey everyone, it's GailLyn Crawford, and I am the Queen of Journaling here on YouTube. Today is Saturday, December the 20th, 2025, and it's 5 more shopping days until Christmas. So get out there and get that shopping done. Today we're going to talk briefly under my Foundations of Journaling series about faith-centered journaling versus emotional journaling. There's a difference. When we talk about faith-centered journaling, we focus on God, faith, purpose, and spiritual growth. Faith-centered journaling is a reflective practice rooted in belief, prayer, and trust in God. The writer looks upward for guidance and meaning. The key characteristics is anchored in scripture, prayer, and faith principles. It seeks God's perspective rather than personal opinion of others. You have to watch out for that. It encourages surrender, trust, gratitude, and obedience. It often includes prayers, verses, blessings, and spiritual insights, and it helps us align thoughts, actions, and decisions with faith. Typical of our emotional or our faith-centered journaling, what is God teaching me through this situation? This is your typical question that you would ask yourself. Where did I see God's hand today? Where did I see him in my situation? Or where did I see him in my conversation? Where did I see him in my encounter? What do I need to do to fully release it to God? And the outcome you want is a spiritual clarity, strengthened faith, peace beyond circumstances, and a deeper sense of purpose. Another one of my favorite words, purpose. A deeper sense of purpose, why you're here, what you should be doing. You should never be bored. Emotional journaling, on the other hand, it focuses on our personal feelings, experiences, and emotional release. Emotional journaling is a personal expression of inner thoughts and feelings. The writer looks inward to process their emotions. And the key characteristics of emotional journaling include it centers on emotions such as joy, anger, fear, sadness, or frustration. It's non-judgmental and it's uncensored. It's often used for stress relief or mental clarity. And when we start talking about mental clarity, oh my goodness, there's a huge, huge gap in what I think is mental and what I think is clear and what someone else thinks. It may or may not include solutions, and it helps us identify emotional patterns and triggers. That's another important word, even though it's not a favorite of mine, but the word trigger is something we should pay close attention to. We should pay close attention to our inner selves and what triggers us. Because trust me, everyone has something or someone that sends off their triggers. And we need to get in tune with that and find out what they are, and then we can start to work on it or seek help and totally be able to control it. I mean, triggers can cause us to make these irrational decisions that may affect us the rest of our life. That 1 minute decision, that 1 minute trigger. So we really need to be in tune and pay attention to what patterns and what triggers us. Typical questions or prompts you would ask yourself when it comes to emotional journaling. How do I feel? What hurt me today? And what am I holding inside? And your outcome that you want from all of this is emotional release, increased self-awareness, reduced stress, emotional healing, and emotional healing through expression. So when we talk about key differences, I want to go over quickly. Faith-centered journaling, God-focused, guided by faith and scripture. seeks spiritual meaning, builds trust and surrender. It's prayer driven. And emotional journaling is self focused. It seeks emotional understanding, it builds emotional awareness, but it's expression driven. Why we should be writing prayers instead of worrying. We should be writing them and putting them down in that journal instead of worrying, because when we write and release, we are walking by faith. It makes a lot of sense. When we write and when we write our worries and we release them and we write them, we're walking by faith. Writing prayers instead of worrying is the intentional practice of transferring anxious thoughts from the mind onto paper and offering them to God through written prayers rather than carrying them internally through fear or stress. And instead of rehearsing what might go wrong, the writer records concerns as prayers, and he or she places trust in God's care, timing, and wisdom. So what it means is you're turning worries into written conversations with God. You're releasing control and choosing trust over anxiety. You're acknowledging your fear without being ruled by it. Don't be ruled by your fear. It can happen, but it's all a mindset. I talk about that in my Walk by Faith and Trap by Sight book. We can easily be ruled by fear. And you're replacing mental rumination with faith-filled surrender. So how it all works, we should learn to document your answered prayers or your faith requests. And that's one of the reasons for my Walk by Faith and Trap by Sight Insight Journal. You're documenting it, you're releasing it, you're letting it go. It's okay to reflect on it later, but you're walking by faith, you're releasing it. And I'm very happy to announce I now have it in hardback. Some people prefer hardback because I think I like the feel, the texture. It feels more sturdy. But there's people that can't handle or don't like to pick up heavy items due to health issues or situations. So my paperback is lighter, children friendly, easier to handle, pick up, move around. I say all that to say we should document your answered prayers or faith requests. And here's just an idea of what you can document for your first line. Lord, here is what I am worried about today. I release it to you and choose faith, my favorite word, over fear. So I hope you enjoyed that. I want everyone to have a great holiday. I'll be returning on the Monday after Christmas. Can't remember the date. You know I'm bad on that. But have everyone have a happy, Merry Christmas. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.